Wow. Teofimo Lopez's manager, David Mgr, in hot water as one of his former fighters accuses him of giving the okay to fake an injury. And now it's just all bad. We're going to talk about it. Boxing, the theater of the unknown. Stay tuned. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Please throw a like on the video. When you guys hit the like button, it goes a long way so you guys can be updated, informed, and others who are looking to be informed in boxing. My name is Ego. I am your host. This is my channel, Boxing Ego. You can find the video, the latest and greatest in boxing. This is the one-stop shop. Let's get into it. ESPN, they have an article, brand new. Boxer faked the injury. It says Charles Conwell says he faked his hand injury to withdraw from an April 8th fight on Ring City versus Ivan Golub on a manager's advice. And it's funny because me being a boxing reporter, vlogger, blogger, whatever you want to call me, I remember reading and hearing that he pulled out of that fight. It was supposed to be on Ring City, but now he's saying he never was really injured. Before I get too far into that, I told you boxing is crazy, and I'll give you some more of my thoughts, but we'll get through the pertinent information. Before I get to that, shout out to Real Rolling Pin. But this article was pinned by Mike Coppinger, and whoever his editor is or whatever, when the article was submitted, they put a picture of Patrick Day instead of Charles Conwell. And I thought that was a bad look, because it's like, how are you ESPN and you're making these little egregious mistakes? This is the person that we're referring to, Charles Conwell, who has the issue with the former manager, David Mgr, right? This is Patrick Day, who was unfortunately killed in action, in a boxing fight. So it's just, rest in peace to Patrick Day. But it's just, how do you make egregious mistakes like that? Like, it's weird, ESPN, I really feel like ESPN doesn't really care about their boxing. They're more vested into the other sports and also UFC. But how do you make these mistakes? It reminds me of when Vasyl Lomachenko, multiple times we've seen on his motion graphics or whatever, we've seen errors where it said that Vasily Lomachenko was undefeated, and that's not true. They just changed his whole record. Now they're putting, I guess, all black people look alike. They're just putting random black people in a simple Google search. Like, I mean, I'm not the smartest brother in the world, but Charles Conwell boxer, I'm sure it's easy to find images. Okay, boom. First thing that came up was a picture of the real Charles Conwell, right? It's like, how hard is this? But anyway, back to the article. Let's go. Charles Conwell, who represented USA Boxing 2016 Olympics, told ESPN that he faked a hand injury. So he didn't really have one, but he faked it on the advice of his manager, David Mgr. Now, David Mgr also is Teofimo's current manager. There's obviously bad blood with the Conwell situation. And he says, in order to withdraw from an April 8th fight that was slated to headline on Ring City. The junior middleweight contender was set to fight Ivan Golub in a Ring City main event. Blah, blah, blah. You don't need to know where it was and all that. When Conwell pulled out of the fight, the entire card was canceled. Now, again, I remember the news and stuff, and I retweeted and whatnot. His half-brother, Isaiah Steen, was scheduled to fight on the card in the opening bout. Conwell said, now this is where boxing gets a little fishy. Conwell said that his manager, David Mgr, again, Teofimo, same manager, who signed him out of the Olympics, told him to feign the injury so that they could fight on the undercard of a Triller fight June 19th in Miami featuring Teofimo Lopez, who also is on the card, right? Teofimo, that was the main event, and they both had the same promoter at a point in time with Cambosos. That fight would have paid Conwell $80,000 against an easier opponent, Mark DeLuca. I believe Kell Brook fought him, while the Golub fight would have paid $40,000. So basically, the fighter is suggesting that he, on the advice of his manager, was instructed, we could double up, give you an easier opponent, act like you sick in this main event instead of fighting this Ivan Golub dude, And let me check up the boy to see what type of record he has. Ivan Golub. So basically you get an easier fight and get the exposure. So don't fight this dude. Don't fight Cuz. And yeah, see, he's 28-1 with some knockouts, right? 15 knockouts is a pretty good 71%. So that probably is the more dangerous fight. You know, don't fight this guy. And then we'll give you Mark DeLuca, who faced Kell Brook. Mark DeLuca, yeah, he fought Kell Brook last year. And he got knocked out. And I guess that was considered the easiest fight because he had recently been knocked out last year. And then he took, some unknown fights or whatever. So he's saying his manager told him you'll get an easier fight and be on the TO. He said we said we had a hand injury because that's the hardest to prove. I didn't even really think twice about it. I just said all right. So he says they went with a hand injury. McWater, who also manages Teofimo Lopez, Steen, and Golub, who I just told you that, said there was no reason for them to lie because they didn't have a signed contract for the April fight. We could have pulled out for any reason, McWater said. I asked if I could fight on both cards so I could get both of the money, said Conwell, who trains in Detroit. He says it's too close to it and I don't want to risk injury, so we're going to go just do one fight. I was just following the advice from my manager. Teofimo Lopez Camboso's fight moved from June 5th to June 19th, days before the event, because of Floyd Mayweather. They're not telling you that. They were scared of the Floyd Mayweather-Logan Paul exhibition, and they bowed down off of fighting on the same fight week. Said then it was postponed altogether when Tio allegedly tested positive for Rona. This means Conwell missed out a potential payday of $120,000 from both fights. He says, man, I have bills. I have a daughter. You know how it is not getting paid. It's some strain. I haven't fought in no meaningful fights, Conwell says. With the Triller event postponed, Conwell stayed busy with the June 26th decision in Ashland, Kentucky. He earned $8,000 untelevised fight held at a community college. Man, boxing is just sad when it do stuff like this to people. So he could have fought for either $40,000 or $80,000, but he's claiming that his manager told him you could only fight on one and we want to pull you for the TO card. And then that fizzled out for the month of June. And then now he's saying he earned $8,000 to fight at a community college. Wow. His previous fight was in December, a 9th round stoppage, career best performance. The fight headline Ring City, and he got paid $30,000. So now he's been paid nothing from the Ring City fight or the Triller fight because he hasn't fought on it. Right? I did feel bad because I wanted to fight both times, Conwell said. When I heard the whole card got canceled, it was really a bad look. I didn't mean for the whole card to get shut down. I know Ring City put in a lot of work. And he says, we are disappointed to hear this, a Ring City USA official told ESPN. Oh, wow. This boxing is crazy. This look crazy. Conwell felt especially bad because his half brother, Steen, was set for a career high payday. So basically him and his half brother missed out on paychecks. It said he returned, blah, blah, blah. The purse was $15,000 for the Showtime appearance. The same amount he was going to get. I got to call the kid. He said, I got a call that the kid was hurt, and I responded accordingly, said Conwell's co-promoter, Lou DiBella. I was disappointed because I took another one of my fighters off the show. Charles didn't fight, and I missed the payday. Getting claims that somebody is injured is, of course, business on a daily basis. Charles Conwell is a great kid. He was caught up in confusion, says Tony Holden, who co-promotes Conwell, Steen, with DiBella. I stand by this young man. He was given bad advice. Conwell actually broke his hand during the first I'm not even worried about that because that don't have nothing to do with it. So basically, he's saying that I believe he's suing David McWater as well, right? And he's suggesting that he was told to fake an injury. Wow, boxing is crazy. Look, they got graphics on it and everything. Charles Conwell admits he faked a hand injury. Charles Conwell, who represented USA Boxing in the 2016 Olympics. Listen, I'm going to give you guys my opinion. Boxing, I told y'all I'd be capping. Listen, the great Ego Stradamus strikes again. I told you boxing be capping. I told you there was a lot of people out here who were knowingly capping and lying and saying different things, and namely this whole Rona 19 thing. I told you guys that. If you remember me saying that in my videos, let me know in the comment section. I told you there was a lot of people out here who were capping, and they were saying this, that, and the third, and they were saying, yo, I got the Rona. And I said, man, people are starting to use this as this is the new my dog ate my homework. This is David McWater and Teofimo. So this is the new dog ate my homework excuse. And Teofimo conveniently, just like Tyson Fury, both top ranked fighters, one advised by the same manager, conveniently got Rona, right? They conveniently got Rona. And it's not just that they got Rona. There were conflicting reports as to the whereabouts of both fighters. Like for Tyson Fury, people were like, yo, he got the Rona 6 days. Why is he on the strip? Why is he written in luxury cars? Same thing with Teofimo. The ESPN telecast said he was in Italy. And then the same day, ESPN reporter who just wrote the Conwell article had tweeted that he talked to David McWater and Teofimo was bedridden in Vegas. Bro, boxing looks bad. When I say these things, y'all don't believe me. Y'all say, oh, this can't be true. You know, T.O.'s really sick and stuff. But now you got a whole boxer saying, hey, I faked a whole hand injury on the guidance of Teofimo's manager. And it messed up my family. I felt bad because the car got canceled. Won't. And the only response that they said, McWater says, we didn't have a signed contract we could have pulled out for any reason. But you still, like, if someone pulls out of a fight, you have to have a reason. You have to say, oh, hey, my eye, like Errol Spence, my hand, you know, I got a bruised rib. You have to say something. And Conwell details what it was. And he said the hand injury is the hardest to prove, that you have a messed up hand. So that's what we went with, right? No one will know. You see those little TikTok videos? They're going to know. No one will know. And that's what they did. They said no one will know. But then after, you know, when you're not getting paid and your stomach, your ribs is touching, then that's going to make the truth come out. And that's what it looks like. He's like, man, I pulled out and you messed up my paycheck for the Ring City. Nothing was wrong with me, right? And then yet again, the Teofimo fight collapsed because he allegedly got Rona. So I didn't have an opportunity to showcase my skills there. And then I'm fighting at community colleges. So now the cat's out the bag. So this looks bad. This is Teofimo. How is it that top ranked Teofimo, David McWaters, and, you know, ESPN fighters keep having these things? Tyson Fury, contradictory Rona reports, said Joseph Parker had it. Then they said Joseph Parker don't got it. He don't have the Rona. He came out and said, I had the Rona in the papers. I didn't have it, but the report said he had it. Tyson Fury's renting cars. Teofimo's in Italy. He's in Vegas. And then now Charles Conwell has the same manager, and he was going to be on the TO card or a Ring City card. And now he's saying he faked a hand injury. He's Machiavelli. He the new Machiavelli. He faked his hand injury to get off the card, thinking and trusting your lead and leadership. And then now he's saying, I ain't been paid. Oh man, this is a terrible look. And this falls on this man right here until they get the facts out. So we'll see how this unfolds. But I tell you, most of these issues in boxing can be whittled down to certain parties, certain people. Like Errol Spence, he got an eye injury, pulled out the Pacquiao fight. There's no post from Errol Spence. There's no report from Errol Spence that conflicts that. There's no statement from Derek James. But then when Teofimo, when he pulls out, there are conflicting things like, is he really sick? Does he really have the Rona? Same thing with Tyson Fury. So this is a bad look, and I want you guys to keep that in mind. So we still to this day, as of me recording the video, don't even know when Teofimo's coming back. So we'll see what happens with Charles Conwell. He said he faked an injury. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Boxing is crazy. We had, in such a short period of time, Michael Fox get robbed, right? Then you have this. It's just, it's getting crazy in boxing, crazy. And I think some people are really drowning. So they just desperate times call for desperate measures, and they trying to finagle and you know, rewrite the rules and reinvent the wheel in boxing. And it's turning out into these type of situations where people are getting exposed. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. We working.